Scholar.
I think very deeply.
Sinner.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Derrick Pierce. Welcome to the Scholar and Sinner Show. If for some ridiculous reason you have not watched this show yet and you don't know what we're about, we're basically two... Are we middle-aged? Oh, fuck my life.
Fuck, man.
Possibly middle-aged, potentially middle-aged dudes who still think we're way younger than we actually are, talking about everything under the sun, from politics, relationships, how to relate, hip-hop, lots and lots of sports activities and everything in between that. Basically, this is kind of like the virtual barbershop style conversations that you wish you could have with your homies but too scared to do. So we do it for your ass. Right. And to my immediate left,
I'm just KIP today, y'all. Just KIP. Shout out to Just Mike. I'm just KIP today.
Wow.
Just Mike's the homie.
No. I just was saying you're just KIP finally.
Yeah.
How many fucking shows have we done? You're finally just KIP.
You're going to get off my bumper because it's going to come back. It's going to come back. I'm going to bring it back.
To what?
I don't know yet. I'm thinking about doing an 80s cartoon motif. Like I might be Kiptimus Prime next time we talk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Wait, are you gonna be the Kiptimus Prime from the Autobots movie of the recent franchise?
No, hell no.
He was super pussy.
No, man. We talking about the 1980s movie, the cartoon movie, when Optimus got murked.
When the Decepticons ran like little bitches when he showed up.
Optimus is the good guy.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
When the movie came out, I was like, why are all the Autobots bitches?
True. That was a great movie.
They were bitches.
And Megatron is one of the greatest cartoon bad guys of all times. He didn't transform into a jet or a car. He transformed into a 45. Yeah, Megatron was about that action, boss.
Yeah, for your ass.
Right? He wasn't playing no games.
No, nobody had to shoot him. He shot for himself.
No, Starscream shot him.
No, in the trailer coming in, he would transform into the gun and shoot. Go ahead, look that shit up.
All right. Well, yeah. You know what? Sorry for all you fucking millennials and you Generation Zs. Go watch them. Go play some Fortnite, bitches.
Do they still play Fortnite?
I don't know. I think Fortnite might be done.
It might be.
Roblox is huge, though. Roblox, I haven't played it yet, but I've been, watching my stock, and Roblox is a publicly traded company. So it's one of those things.
So for those of you guys who don't follow the show, KIP is now the Black Warren Buffett.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right. Buffett.
This man here
damn right.
is now giving out stock trading advice
I am.
as though he stay on Wall Street. Like One Wall Street. Like that's his address.
That's my address
of residency now.
Talk about it.
Wall Street.
Talk that shit. Hey, if you need some game, just slide into DMs, ladies and gentlemen.
We were at a function this last week, and our boy Larry was talking, right? And he was like, "Listen, I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I understand the concept. I know what the goal is, but I don't know how to start. I don't know what step one is."
I was like, let me learn you.
KIP took no hesitation in explaining to him all about stock trading.
That's right.
With penny stocks from his phone.
So let me explain something to you, right? Like I'm the Jordan guy, right? I'm the sneaker guy. But those are fucking those are commodities. Those aren't assets. And nobody needs 60 pairs of Jordans. And my 60 pairs. How many pairs of shoes do you got?
I don't have 60 pairs of Jordans.
But how many pairs of shoes do you got?
Not 60 pairs of Jordans.
Bro, you have a whole room full of just shoes. You only got 2 feet, cuz.
So what?
My point is if you counted up all that bread, because I had to be honest with myself. I feel like I was being financially irresponsible. This is me getting grown, son.
Is that what it is?
You got to get grown sometimes.
Yeah.
I did buy
giving up your Jordans is being financially responsible.
Absolutely. Yes.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Wait.
You have a truck, right?
Yes.
You have a motorcycle.
I have 2 motorcycles.
I'm glad you said it and I didn't have to. You only got one body to ride on the bike, KIP. Why do you need 2 motorcycles?
You know what? You're right.
Go ahead, say something ridiculous
right,
like, because one is for cruising and the other one's for stunning. So when's the last time you stunned a KIP?
So let me explain something to you. I have evolved. I used your word. See that? You like that shit, don't you? I have evolved. I'm becoming a more grown, the cement is drying over here.
So Larry was staring at Mr. Just KIP.
Yes, Just KIP.
As though he had no fucking idea what the hell he was talking about. He was holding on to the armchair and just blinking, trying to be respectful because he loves KIP.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is not what the fuck I asked. I didn't ask about no goddamn stocks.
Larry's my little brother.
I don't have money for no goddamn stocks.
Nah,
What I wanted to know was, how do I get started in life?
So,
but Kip wasn't hearing none of that.
I wasn't hearing none of that shit. You know why?
He said, get this
You know
app.
why? You know why? You know why? Because Larry has $1,000 fucking iPhone in his pocket, right? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, most people finance that shit. Most people finance their phone through whatever their cell phone carrier is, and then you end up paying like 1.5 to 2 times more than what it's worth. And by the time it's paid for, it's not even worth what you fucking paid for it. Why not buy the cheap phone and then pay yourself that payment? And then if you invest that money, then you see, you don't like my shit.
Oh no, I'm listening to you. Except it's boring as fuck.
I'm just saying, son.
Sometimes
be financially responsible, please.
Sometimes being financially responsible is not exciting. I get it.
Yeah.
But A, it's boring as fuck. And B, why don't you tell these lovely people how much that phone was?
Listen, man, will you please get off my phone, please?
I'm not on your shitty Android phone. I'm asking you a different question.
Listen, if you don't like this phone, you don't like amazing technology. That's what the truth is. If you don't like my folding screen, you like inferior technology.
I asked
That's
how much
really
that
the
phone
truth.
was.
It was $2,000.
I see.
I didn't spend $2,000 on it.
How much did you spend?
I spent
$1,700.
But how much did you spend on your iPhone? $1,500. Shut the fuck up.
I think it's like $22 a month.
See, that's crazy to me, man. I don't finance shit.
Actually, it's more like a lease option because I can lease it and then I can roll it to another phone with no additional incurrences of charges.
Sure. Okay. All right. You better make sure that you keep up with that lease because they're not going to remind you, hey, Mr. Pierce.
Oh no, it's auto draft.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
draft.
Listen, man, I don't pay payments for toys. Like if it's a toy, I'm not paying a payment for it. Like I'm not going to finance.
So you bought your truck cash?
My truck is cashed out. My bikes are cashed out. I don't pay
That's
payments
not
for
what I said.
toys.
I said you bought your truck cash.
No, I paid it off in a year and a half though.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's really good. I think I did mine in 3.
Yeah, but I mean, shit. There's a difference between my F-150 and your fucking, built out, supercharged, whatever the fuck that on airbag shit that you got. Your whoop-de-doo fancy schmancy shit.
Wow. Whoop-de-doo fancy schmancy.
It is whoop-de-doo though,
Hey,
Josh. Is it whoop-de-doo?
I'm talking about the original truck I had, which was my Silverado.
Oh yeah, but the Silverado was like a business investment.
Yeah, it was also like a shit ton of fun to build because the engineer Josh also builds cars.
Oh, you built that shit too?
Yeah, he put that on game. He helped me put everything together and design it and all that shit.
I just remember the utility in that damn truck when we was in the gym lifting those sandbags and shit.
Yeah.
No, not even in the gym. We were at the park at 5 o'clock in the morning in the rain.
Yeah, for sure.
Doing squats.
For sure.
And fucking
Anyway.
cleans.
Back to your phone. There's an interesting thing that we're talking about the phones and technology and all that
Superior
kind of
technology.
shit.
You got to say it right, though. Superior technology.
I'm sorry. Does your Instagram work any different than mine does?
But yes, it does. You know why?
Why?
Because as soon as I open my Instagram, motherfuckers be like,
Not really.
oh, denial. It's not just a river in Africa. I'm telling you the truth.
Apparently, it's your middle name, just Kip.
I'm just, hey.
So anyway, one thing that comes to mind when you have all of these wonderful new actual appendages that do virtual activities is
It's interesting that you call it an appendage.
yeah,
Right? I mean, like an
because
appendage.
that's how it feels like.
Exactly. But, appendages is something that you actually don't even need. Like you can live your life without, it's not vital. Right? But we feel as though these things are vital. Right?
Well, it is. And I think that they're vital because of the social media platforms that are involved in those devices. And that comes up because what I noticed, so we live in California, SoCal.
Los Angeles.
More specifically, Los Angeles.
Yes.
And they have issued the order for not being able to eat outside and not being able to eat indoors. So they're basically just take out and take your ass home. And then I believe we're going on full lockdown again.
Yeah, and there's going to be a curfew.
But I didn't get that in like a voter registration email.
Oh, that's
I didn't get that in the mail.
No, you did not.
I didn't get a phone call to my landline.
No.
I saw it on Twitter because I follow Gavin Newsom's Twitter.
On Twitter.
And then also my girl told me, we got it through our feed, through our work, that now we're going to be on a full lockdown. Yeah. And so it seems that a lot of things don't go through the normal channels that they used to go through, right? Now it's like social media.
So I think what happens is that these are the normal channels now.
Now.
Yeah, like the channels that were from, 20 years ago are now antiquated.
Yesteryear.
Yeah, they're
Right.
they're antiquated. Like CNN has a Twitter feed,
Of
right?
course.
And I think that these media outlets understand that they can reach more people if they go to where the people are.
Right,
Hence
right.
Instagram and Twitter and so on and so forth.
Which
right?
is now Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, obviously,
Yes.
MySpace. Just kidding.
Ooh.
TikTok,
TikTok,
and
Yeah.
also now Triller.
Triller. So once again, we're talking about
Which they call Triller is like the adult version of TikTok. Like, if you're on TikTok, you're a child. That's kind of like, even though that's not really true, it's
Right,
an
right.
interesting approach
Right.
to market Triller.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not even familiar with Triller. My only exposure to Triller was the fight.
Right.
My only exposure to Triller, and not even understanding
What
Triller, because Triller is what they say like in Houston.
did I say Triller?
Yeah, I was just
did I say
repeating what he
Triller? I
said.
meant Triller. Sorry.
I'm Triller than you.
I think I was thinking of Michael Jackson in Thriller.
Really? Okay, that
Because
works.
nobody really said Thriller.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Triller.
we're fucking old. Don't
Yeah.
blame us. But the one thing that I did notice is on all these platforms is that we're getting a different type of information, right? Anybody that has seen the documentary
Social experiment. right?
Experiment, yeah, where they kind of give you the basics of how the algorithms work and how you get all the information from what you have a tendency to click on. So they say small things like, when you're on YouTube, don't click on anything that comes up after the video that you watched, right? So if you watch something on, water bottles, don't click on the next one that they feed to you. Go back to the search engine. Otherwise, they're going to start trending shit to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's geared towards, that
Yeah.
topic. So you won't get diverse.
I watched one nerdy ass video on the Marvel universe, and my whole feed is filled with just like Wolverine getting his adamantium ripped out by Magneto. That's
Right.
cool shit though, but it's nerdy. Sorry.
I get
it's
you.
What it is.
I understand.
Thank you.
I
Somebody gonna understand me. But you know what else is really interesting is how these things are linked, because you can do a Google search,
Right.
and then Instagram will optimize the advertisements based on your Google search.
Right.
So if you were looking for, Jordan 1s, then you might get a GOAT ad in your Instagram feed.
Right.
GOAT is, a shoe out retail reseller or whatever.
Right.
And it's so the connectivity is kind of a part of what we're talking about, but that's a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. Like, it can be good, but it also can be very, very bad, because people are able to give out their dumbass ideas at the blink of an eye, at like the speed of light.
Well, I mean, it also, in some capacity, seems that they are now validated while invalidating other people.
See, so we have a brother, and he posted a Thanksgiving meme, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he said something about it was a picture of a Native American with this Native American garb and face paint, and he said something about like, shout out to all those that died or something like that.
Yeah.
And then some chick, I don't know where the fuck this chick was from, right? She said something. She tried to correct him, like, it's not about that. The Indians died because they got a plague. And I was like, oh my God, that sounded like you read a 7th grade history book. So when I corrected her, she got mad at me, and I was like, bitch, you're not having a private conversation here. This is not like you and him are just talking in the corner.
Right.
You put this shit up here for everybody to see it, so you would get mad at me for calling you stupid.
Which is always, I find always ironic that when you say something in a public forum and then somebody says something back to you, your answer, well, not you, but some people's answer is like, well, fuck you. I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah,
you
no, bitch,
shouldn't have put it on a social forum.
No, genius, you was talking to everybody.
Right.
Yeah, you weren't talking to me. You was talking to
Everybody who will listen.
Like, cut it out,
But
man.
I think it's important to address all these social media platforms, because it seems that the changing of the guard has now been completed, right? That we no longer watch, TV news or newspaper news in order to obtain the information.
We talked about the death of the library, right?
Right.
And I was in a teacher meeting today, and one of my teachers wants to get my students like real books,
Right.
Because there's something to be said about actually holding the actual paper
I
in
agree.
your hand
I agree.
versus staring, because you get eye fatigue. Your eyes will fatigue staring at a screen all day
Right.
long. And he was like, yo, I want to get my kids a class set instead of having them read the screens all day. And it's literally a pain in the ass getting these kids real books, because they're not on campus, and we got to do this, and they got to take their temperatures when they walk up to the school and all kinds of weird shit. But yeah, man, it's kind of just because the new is in vogue, it's what's happening,
Right.
doesn't necessarily discredit the value of the old.
No, I agree with you. But the one thing that I noticed, and this is all related because the fights were this last weekend for me, right?
We gonna get to the fights.
We are. We're not in a hurry. But what I noticed is these platforms are no longer sitting solo.
Right.
Right? It's not way back when it was MySpace and then Facebook took over and MySpace died, right? It's now become conglomerates where Facebook actually owns Instagram.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
Aren't
TikTok got
both
sold.
those companies owned by Google?
Owned by
Josh,
Google? No,
look
I
me
think
up.
Facebook is still independently owned.
And Instagram are the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know that TikTok either was in the process of being sold to an American company or was sold to an American company.
I thought that TikTok was a Chinese company, and that was the biggest deal about
it was, but they were in talks to be bought by, I can't remember who it was, but it was a really, really big deal because
Right.
they were talking. Anyway, that became the political activity, right? It's like, we're going to ban TikTok because Trump don't like what they're saying.
Right.
Anyway, but so these are now becoming powerhouse conglomerates who are making a ridiculous amount of money. And to imply that they are now potentially bipartisan, right, or middle of the tracks is kind of ridiculous because they have ulterior motives, and their ulterior motives are not just ad revenue.
Right. Well,
They're actually buying other things. You know what I mean?
So what we're actually seeing is kind of a handing over, a changing of power, right? Because
Yeah.
what we're going to get to Jake Paul because this is very important. Like, because for those of you that don't know who Jake Paul is, he's a YouTuber that has, I think, 5 million. He has,
It's funny. For
he has
those of you who
millions.
don't know who Jake Paul is,
Right.
are probably not on YouTube at all.
Yeah.
And
Well,
don't participate with social media very
so
much.
here's the wild thing is that I'm on YouTube and I'm
Right.
on Instagram. I'm not really on Facebook, and I vaguely know who Jake Paul is.
Right,
I wasn't
both of them.
really familiar.
Logan
'cause
and Jake.
he has a little brother, Logan,
Yeah.
right? And I only really knew about him because of he had a boxing match earlier in the year versus another YouTube guy that I didn't even hear about.
Right.
But I was more interested in his ability to fight and his training than I was any of his YouTube stuff.
Right.
Like,
Because most
he
of his
has
shit
a-
is redundant and stupid.
well, he's not thinking about me when he's making his
Of
YouTube
course
shit.
not.
He's not designing that shit for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not in that demographic that he's
Right.
shooting for, even though he has a couple rap songs. Like,
right.
it's real. You know what's crazy is that, like, one of the rap songs I saw was real Vanilla Ice-ish.
Right.
Right? I mean, not to say that was bad, because if you say Ice Ice Baby is not a hot song, you're a liar. Period. Tell the truth. Ice Ice Baby can come on now,
Well,
and it's still fire.
When I made that song, never mind.
Well, I guess the point I'm saying is that Jake Paul is the exact example of that. It's the death of the Hollywood star. It's literally the death. COVID is killing. Listen, there are a couple movies that were supposed to come out this year, right? And specifically, that Wonder Woman movie was supposed to come out earlier. It was supposed to come out in the summer.
Right.
So then they pushed it back, and it was supposed to, they were like, well, Disney is scrambling now to figure out how they're going to get that, not Disney, Warner Brothers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They're scrambling trying to figure out how to generate the revenue while someone like Triller is a social media platform.
Right.
And they made all kinds of bread this weekend.
Well,
all
they
kinds.
did. And you know, Disney was actually supposed to put out Jungle Book.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Jungle Book already came out.
No.
Are we talking about the same movie?
Is it
With
is
Mowgli and Blue?
No. Okay, what's the one? It's the ride at Disneyland. The Jungle
Jumanji.
Boat? No. Jungle Boat. What the fuck is the one that The Rock just did?
That's The Rock did Jumanji.
Nah, he did another one.
Oh, I'm not even familiar with that. But I know specifically that there were a couple Marvel movies that were supposed to come out, but the studios, you know, the movie theaters are closing down.
Well,
Like, a lot of these movie theaters are in trouble. It's rough. Which leads me to an IPO that people is going to come public really soon. So buy Airbnb, ladies and gentlemen.
you think so? Buy Airbnb?
Yeah. Because when the vaccine happens, right?
Right.
Like, first of all, the hotel industry is hurting now anyway because, you know, only people that are staying in hotels are business people, really, right? So what's ended up happening is that Airbnb was taking away from the market share before the pandemic happened. So as soon as people get to go out, the freedom of being in an Airbnb is actually more attractive than staying in a hotel where you have shared walls with strangers and so on and so forth. Like, you know, when you went to Malibu, you stayed at a villa, right?
Yeah, we
So
did not do a hotel.
That villa is Malibu, son.
Well, I mean,
villa was the same Malibu.
Did you fuck it up?
No.
I was trying to find out about
I didn't fuck it up though.
Oh, okay.
I kept it real. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that like the villa that you stayed at wasn't a hotel, and
Right.
you can recreate the coolness of that experience
right.
through Airbnb, son. So buy Airbnb stock. It's coming up December.
Oh, Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise was the movie, not Jungle Book.
I'm glad you figured that out because I didn't know what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
so Dwayne had done this movie, Jungle Cruise, which is based on the ride at Disneyland.
Man, The Rock is getting that money, bro. That dude figures
Well, that
out his
movie's
way to
not
get
out,
to the bag.
and it's done. It's been done.
But there's a lot. That's what we're saying. That there's
Right,
so
and
many
they
films
don't really know how
that
they're
are
going to
done.
release
Yeah,
it.
Right.
So I found this really interesting in general for a few reasons. Number one is, what is the future of the movies via these social media platforms? Do they get broken down? Obviously, I would have bet a decent amount of money that Quibi would have been a thing.
I have no idea what
Exactly
Quibi is.
my fucking point.
Yeah.
Quibi are these 10 minute or under shorts.
Okay.
Okay, but
so no, go ahead.
it didn't really catch the way they had anticipated. They put millions of dollars behind this platform because they're like, well, everybody's attention span is so short now that they're not going to watch all this shit. So we'll do episodes in 10-minute increments.
Coming from someone that deals with young people all day, I would have said, if they would have asked me, I would have said 10 minutes is too long. 10 minutes is too long. The attention span is a lot shorter than that. You got to remember that Vine is dead because Instagram added videos and it murdered Vine, right? But the Vine videos were originally only 15 seconds long. 15 seconds. You got 15 seconds worth of somebody beatboxing or doing a Roger Rabbit or some shit.
Which is kind of a version of TikTok.
Right.
So, which is shorter, but then they opened Reels on IG, and it didn't kill TikTok, but it still kind of brought up to speed.
It did. But the beautiful part about this now is that if you're an independent artist, if you have a vision, if you want to create something that is just inherently beautiful, then you can garner attention. This is kind of like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come type philosophy.
Sure.
Like you could create some fly stuff, and think Dogface. The dude Dogface, he's a social media phenomenon, right? Like, and all he was doing was riding his skateboard, drinking cranberry juice, listening to Fleetwood Mac, and he won. I mean, don't get me wrong, the dude is talented. He can dance. He's a dancer. But at the end of the day, there was just something about that connected to everyone. And we all jumped on it, right? That's kind of how the social media works. It's like a baton. Like I see something, I can pass it to you and pass it along, pass it along. And the movie theaters can't keep up. TV shows can't keep up.
And so the reason why I had mentioned that between the social media platforms and having everything mobile now, right? I wonder how long before a platform like Netflix or Amazon Prime, who are now full-fledged studio houses for content, right? They're not on the fringes at all.
Have you watched The Boys, that Amazon show?
I have not yet.
That show is a high budget show.
Well,
show
they're spending money.
Yeah, the first season was kind of slow. Second season is like, what the hell?
But so how long before the two are integrated, right? Like how long before Netflix ends up owning Instagram, or IG owns Netflix, or Amazon Prime buys TikTok or some shit like that, and then they start using it for their own means, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
You know what I think is that something like Netflix is the new NBC, right? Something like TikTok or whatever is going to become the new CBS, right?
Well,
like YouTube is now one of the biggest media outlets on earth. Period.
Yeah, I think Facebook is still bigger, but
the point is that they're like the millennials, the Gen Zs, and even some of us Gen Xers are actually consuming more media on YouTube than we are. Like we grew up watching TV, right? And now all the content is streamed. Like my favorite shows, I don't even know shows that come on CBS and NBC and those other. All I know is that The Mandalorian is dope. Right? And Baby Yoda's name is Grogu. Right?
So here's my question. My thought is this, right? Is that back in the day, everybody was like, yo, like our date night, we're going to go out to the movies.
Date night?
And get popcorn. Shut the fuck up. Popcorn and whatever the fuck else you have, right? Except now, I'm talking to the wrong motherfucker.
I'm waiting for you. Let's go ahead.
I'm talking to the wrong motherfucker. You go ahead and open up your flip phone, okay, and watch that. Because I'm about to talk about some real sophisticated electronics.
Well, get on sophisticated with your inferior technology shit. I keep saying
the
that.
80-inch curved screen TV I have in my house in my TV room.
Made by Samsung.
Sound.
It's a Samsung
they make great
TV.
TVs.
Same people that make my phone, by the way.
Which blow up.
You and your inferior technology.
I don't know. My face is not going to catch on fire from my iPhone. I don't know about you.
Yeah, the iPhone makes you
You
feel
might be a burn
good.
victim.
The
I have no
iPhone
fucking idea.
makes you feel like you're a fucking sheep. Okay, you just jumped in the line with the other sheep, and all of you sheep just bad. Just everybody's got to have a fucking iPhone.
There you go, over there being a goat, all by your lonesome.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
My goat shit is fly over
Go ahead.
there.
You like us goats? I mean goat. It's just me.
It's just
with
me.
This shitty fucking phone. Anyway, my point is that how long before your TV becomes your home theater system? Now, like I said before, you kind of shrug, right?
No. I'm listening to you.
So our engineer, Josh, right? He's also had a huge career in doing home theaters and shit like that. And so I wonder how long it's gonna be before the common guy has a fucking home theater. And I mean like a home theater. I'm talking about the chairs with the LED lighting, with the padded walls, with the whole joint. Because why? Because they're not going to fucking movies no more. Because I can't see the Jungle Ride movie, whatever the fuck that shit was called.
That's true.
Because I can't see it in the movie theater.
That's a really good point. And you know what's really more interesting than that? Like this studio has 1 billion TVs in it. You guys can't see the shit, but they've got. How big is that fucking TV over there, Josh?
It's an 80, I think.
That shit is like the size of a fully grown human being, right? My point is, there's gonna be somebody with that shit in their house watching YouTube.
Yeah, I do that.
Like the PlayStation 5 is the hottest thing in the streets, right? Sony knew what they were doing, and they knew it was going to sell out immediately, right?
Well, they do it every year.
But they knew it not every year, because it's been about 5 or 6 years since the PlayStation 4. All I'm saying is that
but they revamp it with like larger memory and all that kind of shit.
The machine in and of itself is a media consumption juggernaut. That's what it is, right? It's not a gaming PC, no, because gaming PCs actually cost a lot more than the PlayStation 5.
The PCs do, yeah.
Yeah, the PCs. Like if you're gonna build a gaming,
if you're
PC,
a real gamer, you don't game on a
but
PS
that
or
PS5, man. Look, man, if you need the PS5, I got it for the low price of.
No, you don't.
Nah,
because I already bought the motherfucker.
Sure. I don't got the
tripping.
low price.
So again, kind of like tying all that shit together, we have these crazy social media platforms. Have these home theater systems and shit like that. Now, we watched the fights at the house.
Yes, we sure did.
We actually watched it out on the patio because I have a little tiny ass bullshit 60-inch out there.
Oh, is that a flex? Are you flexing over here? That was.
I don't even put a cover on that bitch.
Little tiny ass flex over here.
It's just because I just hose everything down around it. That's how insignificant that 60 is. Anyway, so we were watching the fights on there, right? And my girl set the whole thing up.
Yeah, she did.
She's
amazing.
Yeah, she's a tech person, but she's fucking Asian. What do you expect?
Oh,
she can also bake too. My bitch is a baker.
We was talking about her putting some of these little motherfucking bakeries out of business because she gets busy, man.
So the whole thing was, she was like, "Give me your phone because I gotta tie your phone in to the fucking to the TV so we can run Triller and watch the fights," and which was pretty fucking cool.
You sound like an old motherfucker right now.
I am an old motherfucker. Fuck you, bitch.
Like you go to the house and you fix grandma's TV and she's like, "Oh, baby, you did such a good job, baby. This is so amazing, baby."
That's me.
All you did was like change the app, and she's like, "Oh shit, you just parted the Red Sea, Moses."
Fuck off. She tied all this shit together. It was fucking amazing. She's smart. I'm stupid, but I was smart enough to marry her, so that's something good. Okay. Anyway,
shameless.
I gotta plug myself.
Yeah, that's fucking dope. Go ahead,
big
brother.
ass shoulders. Pat myself on the back.
Go ahead, brother.
All right. So anyway, so we watch it, and now instead of on a normal pay-per-view, it's damn near $100 now, right? It's like fucking the last time I bought a UFC fight, I was like a car payment.
Yeah.
I don't know what that fucking bullshit's about. Okay. And not only do you have to now pay a car payment for it, but it's not even through pay-per-view anymore. It's through the hell is
for
it?
the UFC? They have ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus now.
Yeah, they have their
own
own
you have
thing.
to go through ESPN Plus just to get the pay-per-view.
And ESPN is owned by Disney, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I think ESPN is owned by Disney.
It could be. It could be. But so the Triller thing worked out fucking great. And off air, we were talking about how kind of like it was a real different look.
Yes.
Throughout the whole thing. The black backdrops, the different lighting, the ring was a different color. There's not the deeper, darker colors like it normally is. It's a little brighter.
Yes.
And I also used the Fight Night ring, which is a smaller ring.
You know what's interesting is that when I heard that they were doing it in the Staples Center, I thought that was going to be a disaster because the Staples Center is a massive venue. So what you're going to have, the Staples Center, and have it be completely empty? But then when I actually saw it, it was staged. They could have actually used a small gym. But because the grandeur of the Staples Center seems like it would work against what they were trying to do.
Right.
But the way they were able to position things and to light things.
Well, they could have done it in a fucking warehouse.
But the point is there was a certain amount of polish.
Right.
In this, it looked like a presentation. It didn't look like a sporting event.
Right.
Like boxing is like the dudes are just in there, the same old camera angles, the same old this, the same old that. But this had some polish and some shine on it that made it pretty special.
See, it's funny.
Even the performances.
See, you think it was polished and had some shine on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that shit was a fucking pig.
A pig?
I think it was a pig.
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty pig.
Pretty pig.
With lipstick.
Yeah, but
still a fucking pig.
Damn.
And I don't say that
harsh.
to be, it might be harsh. I don't say that to be derogatory towards the event. I thought
derogatory towards pigs?
I thought the event was a good event, and I would have gladly paid even like probably $10 more than what I did. I was very entertained. The reason why I say it was a pig is because I feel like there's a degradation of combat sports that goes along with this activity. And the reason why I say that has nothing to do with the main event.
Right.
It has to do, actually the first fight out with Tito, and I forgot the other dude's name. He was a pinch hitter for that fight. It was a really, really good fight. Tito's a seasoned boxer.
Right. There
And
were a couple of
great.
actual boxers on the
And
bill.
those guys look good.
Yes.
But how dare somebody like Jake Paul and Mr. 5'9", I'm going to call him Royce because he's Royce to 5'9".
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
They both got knocked out of their businesses.
No, Royce is a monster.
Royce is a monster and still didn't make
We're
money.
talking about Nate Robinson.
Yeah, that guy.
Right. So
That guy, the mattress king.
So this is what happens, right? That was not an athletic event. That was a sports entertainment. That was almost the equivalent of a WWE. That was about spectacle. It wasn't about.
I agree.
It wasn't about real boxers coming together and competing for a belt.
I beg to differ because if you ask Mr.
You think
fucking
so?
Paul,
in the smaller ring,
doesn't matter. If you ask them if he's a professional boxer, he will look you dead in the fucking face.
No. I'm not saying that he's not a professional boxer. He's definitely a.
I don't
fighter.
think he's a professional boxer.
Listen. So let me ask you this question, right? Yeah, he has one pro fight.
Yeah.
So if you box and you get paid, you're not a professional boxer?
No, you are. I'm saying that it's a degradation of just because I have a license to race doesn't mean make me a racer.
No. That's my point. So if you street
like,
race, if you street race, what's your show? Your show with the drag racing.
Oh, my redneck pleasure.
Yes. What is your
Street
show?
Outlaws.
Street Outlaws is a dope ass show, right?
It's fucking great.
If you race and you build up and you're a local street racing legend,
and
that doesn't mean that you're not a professional racer. You're just not on the level as the guys that go to the drag strip in Irwindale and drag their fucking
main
cars.
character, okay, which is Chief. Okay, on that show. All right. There's an episode where he goes against the guys from Gas Monkey Garage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so the owner of Gas Monkey and him are supposed to race. They don't fucking race because the owner of Gas Monkey is like, I don't have no seat time. I'm not a real racer. Meaning like I don't get behind the car and drive. I just pay for the shit. And the whole bet was for them to get in the car and race at least in a different way, right? And so Aaron, the dude who built the cars, was supposed to race the car. He ended up not being there, blah, 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 whatever. The point is that Chief was saying, listen, go get a license right now. And we can race in 2 days after you get your license.
Right.
Are you fucking high? I mean, I love the sentiment, right? Because I'm like, yeah, go get a license. Stop being a bitch. But at the same time, just because you qualify for a license doesn't mean that you have any fucking business being in there.
That's right. And so Nate Robinson, right? Like, listen, here's the thing. Even Mike Tyson and Roy Jones conceded to the fact that this was going to be an exhibition. Listen, what you want to see? Even though Mike Tyson, how do you think Mike Tyson looked in that fight?
Well, let's finish up with these cats first because I think that's a different beast.
Okay, well, hold on a second. So the his name was Ortiz and Segua, whatever. They made.
Oh, it wasn't Tito.
his name is
I was being racist again.
His last name was Ortiz.
I hate it when I'm accidentally
The dude
racist.
Ortiz made $16K and his opponent made $8K.
Sounds
They
about right.
made some bread.
Well, no, so they both made $8K and one made 8 to fight. They made 8 to fight and 8 to win.
So this dude named Badu Jack made $180K and his opponent,
Well, he's
McKernan,
an actual boxer. I think it's like 23 wins or something like
bro,
that.
his opponent made $20,000, bro. This dude made nine times the amount.
Outside of sponsorship, too. Because there's sponsorship money that goes in as well.
Nate Robinson and Jake Paul both made $600,000. And Nate Robinson made $600,000 in like 2 minutes. Was it 2 minutes?
In all fairness, I'll let you knock me out for I'll let you knock me out for $60,000. Fuck the dumb shit.
And both Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson both made $1 million, right? And I think that when we're talking about prize fighters, yeah, they're not experts, but they are professionals.
I have no problem if you are working your way up. I trained a fighter named Chem Kellick. Okay, now if you look Chem up, you'll see he's got an amazing.
Chem out right now.
It's CEM.
Okay.
He's a Turkish boxer by way of Germany.
Wow.
So Chem, I actually cornered Chem at MGM Grand on a legitimate fight card.
Yeah.
Which was what's his name? Fuck, that big ass gypsy dude.
Is this a heavyweight?
He
Chem
fought
Kellick,
Wilder.
Chem Kellick is a heavyweight?
Yeah.
Your boy
Tyson.
fought Tyson Fury.
No. He was on the same card.
Oh, I was about to say.
I don't know nobody that big. Tyson Fury's fucking.
Fury's a fucking
real
monster,
quick. Tyson
son.
Fury's stool comes up to your waist.
That dude is like 6'9".
He's fucking huge.
Yeah.
He's so big. But anyway, the point is, so Chem is like a legit cat, right? He don't make nowhere near that kind of money.
Of course not.
Now, that being said, Chem has also spent the majority of his life earning his position and fighting it. And I think it's an unfair comparison for someone like Jake Paul or Logan or whoever the fuck their cousin Steven or Burberry, whatever the fuck the other dude's name is, to get into a ring and jump around as though they accomplished something.
No.
You didn't accomplish shit. You have not fought a real fucking boxer, not once. If you have, then it's only been in training and there's no fucking video of it. So shut the fuck up because you haven't earned the stripes to talk the way you talk.
No, I disagree with you. Because
What
I don't
stripes
think,
did he earn?
I don't think that Jake Paul is actually talking to guys like your guy, right? I think Jake Paul.
He talked to McGregor.
Yeah, but that's pomp and circumstance, bro. That's literally the him positioning himself for the next fight, right?
Which is still
and he
talking.
might believe in himself. He might actually believe in
Then
himself to the
say
point where
I
he
would
thinks
love the
that-
opportunity to fight someone like Conor McGregor or Conor McGregor, but don't get on a high horse and say I can't wait to knock him out.
So here's the thing, right? Yeah, your fighter has spent years and years and years building his position up, right? But Jake Paul has actually spent years. He has 20 million YouTube subscribers,
Right, which
20
means he's great
million.
at keeping people
So-
visually engaged. It
That's
doesn't
right.
make him
So
a fighter.
companies, exactly. It's not. This is not an athletic like competitive thing,
But to
this
him
is
it
athletic
is.
entertainment. That's why I said it's just similar to like watching the WWE, right? You know what else is wild is there was crowd noise.
Well,
right?
yeah, they piped
There was
it in.
crowd noise, and I'm an NFL guy, right? There's crowd noise at the NFL games, right?
Sure.
And something else that was crazy, there's crowd noise at the WWE events, and what they're doing
Yeah.
at the WWE events is they're manipulating the crowd noise to get the reaction
Well, yeah.
from the
competitors.
No, not from the competitors, from the viewers, right? It's the same thing that the NFL does. Like if I intercept your ball, they're going to hit the button that makes it sound like the crowd is cheering. There's no crowd there. All I'm saying is that the whole entire media thing is being manipulated. And the reason why Triller says, okay, Jake Paul, we'll pay you $600,000
Right.
because we know that you're going to bring 20 million
Yeah,
people
I get that.
to the dance here.
100%.
So like to say that, listen, if Jake Paul jumped in the ring, I guarantee you there's a kid right now, some 18-year-old kid, he's only 23,
Yeah,
some
he's
18-year-old kid that's been boxing since he was like 6 that would beat the brakes off of Jake Paul.
Of course. And I
Right?
think in 5 years, Jake Paul could be a good boxer.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he can't. You know
My
what I
thought
mean?
process is this, is that if you ask Jake Paul if he is a professional fighter by trade, he's going to say yes. And that is a misnomer. I guarantee you, listen to the way the dude talks in his
Yeah.
interviews.
So if you have 2 professional fights, you're still a professional fighter though, right?
But it's not what you do.
You're not a seasoned fighter.
It's not
you
what
don't
you
have
do.
a long career. Like that's like saying like, oh, I just got hired at the bank and I'm gonna tell her for 2 hours. I'm a banker, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
you're not a banker. You're a bank teller.
I'm still working at the bank though, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think
I'm in the building.
Yeah, you're in the building, even if you might be mopping the floors.
Yeah, hey, whatever, bro. I'm in the building. Am I not?
I guess like JFK, right? Like when he went and talked to the janitor at NASA, he said, "I'm a part of putting the man on the moon."
That works too.
Kind of.
That works too.
But in a very fucking slow boat process, in a very roundabout way.
Listen, we're talking about something that's enigmatic of how our culture has changed and how our culture has evolved.
The reason why I think
because I'm trying to figure out how many followers that Nate Robinson had, because Nate Robinson played college football. He was a Washington Husky. He played college basketball. This dude is an elite athlete. He won the dunk contest 3 times. He's 5'9".
Right.
That's itty bitty in comparison to the NBA.
I get that concept. The point I guess that I'm trying to make with the whole thing, I got kind of sidetracked with Paul not being a real fucking fighter.
Right.
Okay, or seemingly so. Is that it's interesting that without these social media platforms, he never would have had this opportunity. He would have had to fucking pay his dues and get his stripes on the way up because he never would have the platform to do it.
And if you really want to know the truth, without these social media platforms, he probably would have never stepped in the ring. He might have trained boxing, but he wouldn't have had an audience that wanted to watch him fight. Now, nobody wants to. He would just be that dude that took the boxing classes at the UFC gym that got a little bit of skill. But nobody wants to watch that guy fight. But everybody wants to watch Jake Paul fight.
To be fair, I was happy to watch this fight.
Oh yeah,
I was excited to watch this fight.
I actually thought Nate was going to win.
I thought he had a good shot.
I thought Nate had a good shot because he was, a professional.
I wanted to see what was going to happen, but I wanted to see what was going to happen the same way if two bums were about to fight over a 40-ounce outside of 7-Eleven.
Listen, man.
You were like, we got to go. And I'm like, no, hold on. This could be really good.
So Max Kellerman is an ESPN announcer. Right?
Kellerman.
And he made the analogy. He was like, look, you could have the greatest basketball game happening over here. Right. You could have like NBA All-Stars, right? Yeah. And then on this corner, you got 2 random dudes just scrapping it out. People are going to walk away from that NBA game and go watch the fight like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the illest part is that because you can't play fighting. There's no such thing as playing fighting. It's not a game.
Real shit.
This is not a game. And I think that's where our boy Nate Robinson got into a little bit of trouble.
Well, also
because you can play basketball, but you can't play fighting.
I also think that's a good point to make when you got to the main event, which was Tyson and Jones. Is there were a bunch of rules that were supposed to be in play.
They threw those rules out, though.
Yeah, they said fuck all the dumb shit.
Let me pull up the rules because they were
originally they were supposed to be
headgear.
Originally they were supposed to be no knockout shots, which I don't know how the fuck you do that. I don't know how you kind of, like you said, I don't know how you play fight.
Yeah.
Tyson did not look like he was playing after about round 3.
After round 1, like when he stepped in there, those body shots. Listen, Roy Jones fought the perfect fight.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And what was really interesting is that Roy Jones moved around and he used some of the same style that he did when he was younger.
Yes,
like he didn't give his whole body. He gave half the body. He was punching at an angle.
You could see it now because he's a lot fucking slower.
Yeah. He was like, I'm just trying to touch you, but I'm not trying to get touched. Tyson did not get that heavy shot to the head off.
No, and I don't think he would have. At any point in time, I think Roy's very elusive. But it was interesting to watch the fight because I was pleasantly surprised at the level of activity both of them had.
Yeah.
I saw Tyson snap into his ear-biting mode for about 8 seconds.
See, that's not right. That's not right.
Why is it not right? I'm sorry. Did he not bite somebody's ear off?
Yeah, he did. But he did get real aggressive. But that only happened.
Okay, so at the end of one
I
of the
saw him biting his glove.
Yeah,
I saw him biting his glove. Yes.
He might have a little bit deep-seated fucking problem with biting. I don't know. But I did see one moment where he smacked Roy once or twice after the bell.
After the bell.
Had the crazy, I'm fucking kill you look.
Yeah.
And then was like, immediately he woo-sawed for a hot second.
They hugged it out.
And was like, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Jesus told me I should probably change my ways.
Wait. Hold on. You're going to leave Jesus alone.
I do leave Jesus alone.
You're going to leave Jesus alone. You're going to leave Jesus out of this.
Roy Jones should be thanking Jesus that Mike Tyson didn't fucking snap.
That he did not connect. Listen, man, those body shots were heavy. I know Roy Jones woke up this morning like, oh, shit. But that headshot
this morning, you were under the impression he got out of bed with his 51-year-old ass.
But once again, being 51 in 2020 or being 54 in 2020 is not the same as being 51 or 54 in 1980 or in 1970. It's
so you're saying there are a lot of drugs. Things.
Well,
I got you. So cool.
No,
I got you.
Mike smoked before he came out.
Apparently the chat was that Mr. Tyson was under the influence
Yeah, but
Not of alcohol, but of
marijuana is not a performance enhancement drug, though.
I think it kind of is.
It could have in his situation because it helps him stay calm.
And you lock in a little bit.
Right, but that doesn't make you faster.
No, I agree.
It's not like what's his name?
And it doesn't make you stronger.
What's the guy? He the red juice. He drank a liquid amphetamine in between rounds. It came out. Aaron Pryor. Okay, boxer.
Yeah,
Aaron Pryor.
Yeah.
His trainer. I hope I'm have the name right. The trainer was like, give me the bottle I mixed up, right? And
I remember
he was
seeing
losing.
that shit on
he
video,
drank that shit. It came out like he got the little Mario star. He came out like, I was like, if you watch the highlights of that shit, I was like, yo, it's the 11th round.
Yeah.
We don't do that though.
I will say that I think the cool thing about this activity that Triller did put on and the promoters, number one, I like how they combined musicians, use music people who have music that's what their career is, right? Because they're not musicians, and the combat sports world because they do run together.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, it is entertainment. But I like that. I could appreciate that element of it. Right. And I also like the platform that in a certain capacity, even though none of the men that were fighting were common, right? Meaning because Jake Paul has got millions and millions of followers, so on and so on. And they've been elite athletes in other avenues. But it allowed the common guy to get his, mainstream on TV, look my made it face.
Yeah,
right? And it allowed them to participate in an activity that they normally would not be able to participate
because
and be taken seriously.
The marquee are two guys that are far past their prime, right?
I was only talking about the undercard.
No. Well, I'm gonna get to the undercard too because like these are guys that should be on the couch somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And the undercard, when we're not talking about the boxing matches, the undercards were two guys that are not known to be fighters. One guy has one professional fight, the other guy had 0 professional fights. So there was a certain amount of engagement that happened that when everybody that thinks they can throw a right hook, every one of us dudes that are like armchair aficionados was watching that shit like,
hold on, wait a minute. All the who dudes?
Not you, motherfucker. You could do that jumping, spinning, twirling, whatever.
Me and that us.
Whatever, man. Cock Norris. Cut it out. We
Damn
know what
right.
time it is.
Swinging more than these hands, bitches.
I'm going to leave that one alone. But
too late, motherfucker. You already engaged it.
The point I'm trying to make here is, in retrospect, that was one of the more engaging aspects. It's kind of like when you have that super athlete that doesn't look like an athlete, like Ruiz. Remember when Ruiz fought?
When he knocked out.
Not Wilder.
No, he did knock out Dante.
Well, Ruiz looked like a chubby guy that he should. He looks like he never.
No, he was and is a chubby little Mexican dude that knocked the shit out of the fucking champ at that moment.
But he lost the rematch though. He got his ass
whipped
the second time around.
He had no business winning in the first time.
The point that I'm trying to make here is that when we're looking at these athletes, there's a part of us that vicariously have the experience through them, and this is why when Snoop was commentating on the fight, and I love the Snoop. Nate, get out of there. Nate, Bob and Weave. Nate, get out the way. Oh man,
because it was
awesome.
In my head, I just kept going, and I will never go watch a scary movie with this motherfucker.
We need more Snoop.
Because he was like, oh, get in there. Get in. No, get out. Get out. You got to move. Oh, hell no. You got to move. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
No,
I'm trying to watch the goddamn fight.
We need more Snoop. I think that Snoop was really appropriate because, like, why would you have a boxing commentary aficionado commentating against something that's not necessarily official? These dudes weren't throwing like textbook punches and textbook footwork. Say it again?
Sugar Ray.
They did.
Right, but they're not normal commentators.
Right. Sugar Ray's done some commentary work. He's done a lot. He's done a hefty amount, but he wasn't the marquee commentator. He wasn't the main guy.
Israel up in there though.
Yes, they did have Israel Adesanya, right?
Yeah, and again, but he has an MMA background and is a champion in UFC. I listen, as a general rule, it's the whole thing on a whole. I would watch the whole thing again, and I would pay for it again. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah. Look, Jake Paul has positioned himself to be very much like the WWE heel, like the bad guy. Like when he got on the microphone and he called out Conor McGregor will literally rip your arms off and beat you with them. That's what Conor McGregor would do. And he's a smaller guy. Jake Paul walks around under 85
Conor
pounds.
should challenge him back and say, absolutely, I'll fight you one round of boxing if you fight me one round of MMA rules.
And he's going to get his ass kicked both ways. So here's the crazy part, right? Jake Paul had a Twitter post that says, I'll put $200,000 against any celebrity that wants to have a wrestling match. And Ben Askren was like, I will pin you in less than a minute. Like, I will fuck you up.
Who's Ben Askren?
Ben Askren he was undefeated MMA fighter for a long time. NCAA national champion, right? Now, George Masvidal fucked his ass all the way up.
Oh.
Yeah, George Masvidal knocked his ass out with that flying knee in less than 5 seconds.
No, he made a highlight reel.
He made a highlight reel, but Ben Askren was undefeated for like 30 or 40 fights.
Yeah.
Up until that. And the reason why he was in the UFC is because his fighting style is kind of boring. Like, pull you to the ground and grind you out.
I wonder what he would say if an old cat like Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle is an Olympic gold medalist.
Hey, he's WWF, bro.
Kurt Angle would kill that kid.
Yes, Kurt Angle is the real fucking deal.
Listen, from my understanding, Jake Paul's got some JUCO experience, JUCO like junior college wrestling experience, which is nothing to be sneezed at, right? But that's not NCAA.
Is he talking about submission wrestling, or he's talking about Greco or?
It don't make no difference when that.
Well, it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference.
I think when that NCAA All-American gets his hands on you, that is your ass.
I'm asking, like, if it was a freestyle match, I wouldn't wrestle him, but if it was submission, I'll choke that motherfucker out in, I'd say, a good 4 minutes.
I think that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Either way you slice it. That is your ass, Mr. Postman. You saw Friday? Well, I mean, look, man, I think you would beat the shit out of Jake Paul.
I've been choked out by some of the best.
Jake Paul, I heard him say it. Derrick Pierce said, if you want this smoke, he got this smoke.
I'm only famous in Chatsworth and most of Northridge.
He's Chatsworth famous.
But I got that smoke for you, boy. Don't fuck around.
He's Chatsworth famous.
I am. I'm Chatsworth famous. I'm the other Hollywood famous.
818 famous. You need a T-shirt that says 818 famous.
I'm making that goddamn shirt.
That would work.
818 famous.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what time of the show it is?
Oh, man. Shit.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Josh, is it that time, bro?
It is that time.
Josh, do you have a question for this?
It's porn stories from the vault.
Josh, do you have a question for him, please? No. All right.
He doesn't.
Do you have a story prepared?
No. Why would I ever have a story prepared?
Okay, so.
Shit is off the dome. I freestyle this shit.
So.
Constantly.
You freestyle off the dome, huh?
I do. Jay's asked everything that she ever wanted to know, and she's watched everything already. So, my wife has watched all my fucking porn.
Wow.
Constantly. Yeah.
My wife has watched all my porn.
Yeah,
that's a dope ass T-shirt too. My wife has watched all my porn. That's fantastic.
It's just the 818 famous on the front, and then my wife has watched all my porn on the back. Yes. That is the shirt.
Kings of Chatsworth should be a damn porn documentary. Yes.
Let's see. We've done the.
I have a question.
Please, Josh, ask him a question.
Do you know how many scenes you've done?
Oh, that's a great question. What is the mileage on that missile over there? What does the mileage say?
It's not an Iraqi Scud missile. I can tell you that much. This motherfucker got pinpoint accuracy.
You and your high mileage junk.
I'm sorry, just because you haven't broken double digits.
Hey, double digits? No, man. No, you way past double digits.
How many scenes I've done? Okay, so we're at 13 years. Is that where we're at? Yeah, 13. I got to get a calculator for this motherfucker. Probably average over the 13 years. In the beginning, I was working about 25 times a month, 25 times 12.
Jesus.
So that's 300 scenes a year. I'll probably ballpark that down to 250
times
13.
250
times 13. About 3,300 scenes, give or take.
That's 3,300 skeets?
Well, yeah.
It's more than that.
Yeah. And then if you're talking about like sexual partners, which is usually how I get asked that question, I don't know. Can't count. Thousands, couple thousand.
You could have literally populated the whole Staples Center with your children.
Yeah, I guess. I never thought about it like that before.
Maybe not the Staples Center, but a good section of the Staples Center.
Most of them.
You're going to be the Derrick Pierce section. You could have 3,300 clones out there.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
I don't. Yes, sir.
You really deflated the fucking balloon on that one.
Look. You could have a whole nation.
Of myself?
Yes. Yes. You could have a whole fucking army.
Yeah, I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with fuck no.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think most performers have those numbers. I mean, you have to be in for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And then it's just a matter of, I don't know, pounding it out.
Pounding it out.
Pound it out. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
What were you going to say about swingers? You text me. Don't fucking act like you didn't text me
That was
now.
on accident.
Do what?
That was on purpose.
So for those of you who don't know, we often talk to people off screen, off camera, and I know
Yeah.
it probably looks really odd. Like he's not talking to Josh about swingers. No, he's not talking to Josh. Josh is like we said.
My
that
girl
Josh
said
is,
something about swingers. She just texted me swingers, and
He's-
I don't know what the fuck she meant
He's
by
like
that.
Tim the Tool Man's neighbor.
Was I supposed to talk about swingers?
What was filmed in a live studio audience?
Yeah. And they're all having social distancing.
40 people social distance.
Yeah, exactly. Man, next time I got to talk about school. I got to talk about the social distance classroom because it's all bullshit. Yes, it is.
Oh, I think everything social distance is an interesting phenomenon right now. We don't have time to get into it.
No,
but,
we don't.
Who knows, man? I heard recently the vaccines are fucking available
Ah, man, oh man.
or about to be available.
Are you gonna get a vaccine?
Hell no.
Oh man,
Not until they make you,
not until they make me.
which
right.
is not too far off.
Like, we kind of talked about vaccines a little bit, like how all vaccines aren't bad.
We have to actually get tested before every time I work. So I get tested for COVID 1 to 3
I
times
have to
a
get
week.
tested because I'm going onto my campus. Like I go
Yeah.
and they put the swab in your nose and then
They
they
still
tell
doing
you
your nose?
24
That's
hours.
old school.
Where? How they do it for y'all?
Throat.
In the throat? Okay, well, just wiggle it around a little bit and give them back the little.
Yeah, because
Q-tip.
it's ear, nose, throat. They all train
That
to
makes
hear,
sense.
so
I'm
it
just
makes more
saying.
sense to do the throat.
If you say so, bro.
I do, goddammit. I know about medical shit.
You should. You got 33,000 partners.
Very, very
I'm just saying,
pinpointed.
you are
medical shit.
You literally tap danced to that minefield and didn't end up
I
with the
know
damn
more
cooties,
about-
nigga. I'm just
I
saying.
know more about sexually transmitted
Yes, you
diseases
do.
than I ever wanted to fucking know.
You are low key gynecologist over there. You are a vaginal expert, bro.
I have seen the
Labia
light many a
minora,
time.
labia majora, all of that shit. You know all about that shit.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you know
I
what?
can look at some shit and go, that's not razor burn.
You should write a book.
Kip, do you know what a pink sock is?
A pink sock, is that what you said? Oh, God.
No,
Kip
no,
never-
no.
Yeah.
I'll
about
take
a-
these
how about
headphones
a-
off right now. I'll walk my motherfucking ass off of here.
You don't know
No,
what
no,
a pink
no,
sock is?
no, 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 no,
You
no,
don't know what a
no,
pink sock is?
no, no, no.
Maybe our editor
I'm
can
gonna
put a pink
put my
sock right
I'm
there.
pretty sure the editor that'll get us demonetized and the video taken down. I will put my fingers in my ears and hum. Okay, I don't want to hear any more. Listen, man, I swear to God, hanging out with you gives me information that I could totally live my life without and be 100% happy.
Listen,
Fucking pink sock. I'm good enough.
maybe because it's cuffing season, you'll see some shit and be like, oh, D told me about that shit right there. It could happen.
It could happen.
I could save your fucking life.
You could save my life, dude. You know,
See?
that's because
Yeah.
you love me.
I'm
bro.
telling you, dog.
You know, it is what it is.
That's commitment right there.
Yeah, somebody gotta look out for me.
Hey, guys. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. We appreciate it. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button, well, I can't fucking talk. 'Cause
Like, comment, subscribe, and
Yeah.
hit the notification so you know when we get the new shows up.
Yeah, absolutely. Tune in. We appreciate you guys. Stay focused. Love.
Love.
Scholar,
I think very deeply.
sinner.